Welcome back to the embedded system class. In this video lecture, I am going to explain about what is interrupt vector table. So a microprocessor execute instructions sequentially. So main program is executed. Alongside it is also connected to several devices, right? So embedded system has a processor. Processor will connected to different I/O peripherals, sensors, ADC converters, DAC converters, LEDs, LCDs. Different types of blocks are connected to this processor. The data flow between these devices and the processor has to be managed effectively, right? So we have to manage effective connections between I/O devices and microprocessor. We can be done by using either polling or interrupts. So there are two functions, polling and or interrupts. So now we will check what is polling and what is interrupt. So polling is a simple method of I/O access. So it is in this method the microcontroller continuously probes whether the device requires attention, that is if there is a data to be exchanged. So polling is nothing but microcontroller continuously checks the devices. So which device required data, or it is either it may be in run mode or inactive mode. It will continuously check. So a polling function or subprogram is called repeatedly while a program is executed. So when a program is executed, a subprogram is called. That program is continuously check data transfer. So next one is interrupt. So interrupt is an event that causes the microcontroller to stop the normal program execution, right? So whenever any interrupts occurs, so whatever the main program runs, it will give some interruption to the normal program. So interrupts are usually generated by hardware and often indicates that the event has occurred that needs any urgent response. So whatever the interrupts occurs, we will give some priorities to the interrupts. So if it is highest priority than the main program, then the main program stopped whatever the execution has done up to that mark. So it execute interrupt program, then it will continue the main program. So in interrupt based I/O, whenever a device requires the attention from the microprocessor, it pings the processor. So this ping is called interrupt signal and interrupt request. Right, we know that. So whenever a main program is runs, so different hardware circuits are connects. So these signals coming from this hardware circuitry is it will give priorities to the interrupts. So whenever highest priority interrupts comes, so main program halts and it executes interrupt program. So whatever the ping is called, this ping is called as interrupt request. So interrupt service routine. Every IQR is associated with a subroutine that needs to be executed by the processor. This subprogram to handle an interrupt is called an interrupt handler or interrupt service routine. So types of interrupts, software interrupts and hardware interrupts. So software interrupts are called or triggered by the interrupt instructions. So whenever any software interrupts are comes, so those interrupts are called as software interrupts. So these interrupts triggered by the interrupt instructions. Hardware interrupts, so these are non-maskable interrupts and maskable interrupts. So these are two different types of hardware interrupts. So comes from hardware circuitry. These are non-maskable interrupts and maskable interrupts. So how we can process these interrupts? So when interrupts occur, the microprocessor stop current program execution and attends to the IQR by executing the ISR. Once the execution of ISR completes, the processor continues from where it was before interrupts. So means so this is the interrupt vector tables, interrupt service routines block like that flowchart. So check here. So when the main program executes, so whenever any interrupts occurs, so what is PC? PC is nothing but program counter. So it will hold the address of the next instruction to be fetching. So whenever any interrupts occurs, whatever the address of PC will stored in stack. So it will push to the PC and so load PC with the address of the ISR. So once this interrupt ISR executed, then we can pop that SR and PC. So from there the main program will be executed. So this is nothing but ISR, interrupt service routine. So next, when the interrupt is enabled, the CPU perform the following. So whatever we have seen these are the steps. The CPU completes the execution of the current instruction. So whatever the current instruction execute, that instruction will be executed first. Then the present PC program counter address, which points to the next instruction, is pushed on the stack, right? So what is PC means? PC will hold the address of the next instruction to be fetching. That PC address is pushed into the stack. The stack register is pushed onto the stack. So next, the fourth step, the interrupt with the highest priority is selected if multiple interrupts are waiting for the service. So if at all multiple interrupts are comes, it will give to the prior to the interrupts. Highest priority interrupt will be executed first, then next least priority. So the PC is loaded with the address of ISR, which is available in interrupt vector table, and the CPU starts to execute the interrupt service routine at that address. So right. So an interrupt service routine must always finish with the special instruction RET, so return interrupt, which has the following actions. So it has two actions. The status register pops from the stack to restore the flags and the mode control bits. And second one, the PC pops from the stack and execution continues from the point where it was interrupted. So this is about interrupt service routine. So once main program execute first, whenever interrupts comes, multiple interrupts comes, we will give prior to the interrupt. So highest priority interrupt will be executed. At that point, we stored we push PC in stack register. Once this interrupt executed, after that we pop PC and we execute from that. So this is interrupt service routine block. So next, interrupt vector table. So what is an interrupt vector table means? If interrupts occurs, the CPU must know the address of ISR, right? So from which hardware we got interrupt, so we have to know the address of that interrupt. So where to fetch the instruction, next instruction from the interrupt. So the memory which contains the address of ISR is called interrupt vector, right? So we have different hardware circuitry and processor. So every hardware circuit, so if at all any hardware circuitry needs data transfer or receive, it will send the interrupt to the processor. So it will interrupt vector table will holds the address of all the interrupt blocks. So each ISR has its own interrupt vector. The address location of all these ISR are listed in a lookup table called interrupt vector table. So what is it? Means lookup table will holds the address of all the interrupt vectors. So that interrupt vector table is nothing but a lookup table. So in ARM controller there exist 256 interrupts, right? So now we are discussing about TM4C 123 ARM processor. It exists, it has 256 interrupts. Out of these, some are hardware or peripheral generated by IQRCs and some are software generated. As we discussed earlier, interrupts are two types, software interrupts and hardware interrupts. Some are hardware interrupts or peripheral interrupts and some are software interrupts. However, first 15 interrupts, INT 0 to INT 15 are called predefined interrupts. So these are called, first 15 interrupts are called as predefined interrupts. So this is nothing but interrupt table, interrupt vector table, which will holds the address of SP address, reset address, non-maskable address. So this is nothing but lookup table of TM123. It will holds the address of each interrupt vectors. So this is about interrupt vector table. Thank you so much for watching.